everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Allie and I do plan with me videos, and sometimes I also do some sticker haul unboxings. So today we are actually going to be planning out the middle of August, August 11th through August 17th. And as usual, I have my PlannerKate kit ready. And the kit that I am using this week is kit 735. And of course I have my sampler sheet. I use this every single week. I'm switching it up a little bit. Instead of my usual journaling number 2 sheet, I am actually going to be switching it up for the next few weeks, and I'm going to be doing these date headers, dash labels, and this is actually going to be in my daily duo. So I'm going to be putting this aside for now, and I will be using this for my daily duo. I usually do not plan with my daily duo on camera. However, if there's enough interest, I might consider doing so. It just depends. Right now, I'm just going to be sticking with weekly plan with me's and monthlies. So yeah, we can get started. So let's get started with the washi as I usually do. How has everybody's week been going? My son, do I want to do, yeah, I'll do it up here. My son, my youngest, he started his second year and last year of pre-K this past week. Today is actually Friday, and he started it yesterday. Yesterday was his first day, and it went really well. I'm so proud of him because he has been so, with this being like a new school, he's been so brave, and he has shown nothing but excitement. So I'm very proud of him. I figured there would be some nervousness and some kind of like anxiety of like, no, I don't want to go. This is new. Like, he showed none of that. Even during like back to school night, he was so excited. So I'm very proud of him. This kit, I typically avoid sunflower kits. I know that's a very unpopular opinion. I'm probably going to get a lot of slack for that, but like, typically I just don't love sunflowers. But the colors in this kit are way too bright and beautiful. I really loved it, despite the giant sunflower. I know that's really weird. I know I'm in the minority about that. Like, most people love sunflowers because they're like a bright, happy flower. I don't know what it is. I just don't like it. Okay, so we are doing the 11th. I might actually speed through this process, so I will be back. Okay, so date headers are in. I usually go with the brush strokes. However, I was feeling a little bit adventurous when I picked these out, and I wanted to try these ones. I've used them before in the past, but it's been a really long time, so I kind of wanted to try them out again, and they're not bad. I still think I prefer the brush stroke ones, so I think going forward, whenever I do buy date headers, I'll probably stick to the brush strokes. Okay. Let's do our sidebar. not a ton going on this week, which is probably a good thing. So if anybody has anything exciting planned for this week, let me know. This current week that I'm filming, I started the audiobook for Lights Out. Holy cow, I really enjoy it so far. I'm not even that far into it, but I still really, really like it. And I'm really good. I chose the audiobook. So, yeah. Let's move down here. I'm going to be sticking with my usual habits of litter box and yoga. If you've read Lights Out, I know one person commented that they had read it and they really enjoyed it. So if anybody else has read it and they liked it, let me know. I know it's a pretty popular book. As far as the icons go, I did spend some time pulling ahead some icons that I knew I would need. And this week I get to use my cute little litter box icon that I got from the PlannerKate anniversary sale. And then let's do the teal yoga mat. Oh, look at how cute that is. I'm glad I got those. Okay. Next, we are going to be doing our currently reading, and again, I'm still reading the same books that I started last week, so Flock and Lights Out. Flock is on my Kindle, Lights Out is on audio, an audiobook. I am enjoying Flock as well. Next, I'm going to be pulling some checklists. I think I'm just going to stick with yellow. I'm feeling really good and inspired now that both of my kids are back in school. I feel like I can finally get back to a more set routine, if that makes sense. Because when my kids are out of school, and I'm sure I'm not the only parent that feels this way, but when my kids are out of school, weeks are kind of fly by the seat of our pants type situation, even if my kids are in summer school. So it feels good to have them back in school and kind of get back on a normal routine. I am going to be putting week 33. I do want to put in my kids' specials. I like to put those down at the very bottom so that I remember which days they have gym, which days they have library, So that is actually one reason why I got the extra sheet of dash labels, because I like to use the skinny dash labels to mark that. And now my son has special classes, so he now alternates between gym, library, art, and music. So I need to mark that for the both of them. I'm really mad that I wrote a B instead of a P, and I crossed it out, but I don't, since I have extras, I think I might just rewrite it. Okay, now that those are in, that is a little bit of an adjustment, but that's okay. So I'm not used to having 2 kids of special classes to keep track of, but I guess this is my life now. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to Monday. Oh, another thing that I do need to keep track of. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. My daughter, so my kids went to the dentist this past week, and for the last week, my daughter has been complaining about a sharp pain in her mouth. And so I kept a mental note of it. I was giving her Tylenol, and I knew that she had a cleaning coming up. So I'm like, okay, we'll just deal with it. We'll bring it up at the dentist. It turns out she has a cracked tooth and some root is exposed. So that's the sharp pain that she's feeling. She is going to have a crown. So, she is actually getting the crown put in on Friday the 15th. But until then, she is taking an antibiotic for that. So this would be, I think she's already taking it. Yeah, so this would be day 6. She needs to take it for 10 days. So I am going to mark that with these. It's technically a liquid antibiotic that she's taking, but oh well, it doesn't matter. This still helps remind me. And she needs to take it 2 times a day. So this will be day 6, day 7, and day 8. Day 9 and day 10. Okay. Now that those are in, I think we can continue on. So Monday, our usuals are trash day. So let's get that in. And PlannerKate is also having her October new releases. While I will not be purchasing that day, hopefully I can purchase later on in the week. But even though I won't be purchasing them that day, I still want to put it in my planner. So let's go with this torn washi looking sticker. And those usually happen, I think, at 9 a.m. All right, now we are going to do, Monday has become our big catch-all, I guess catch-up laundry day. So I'm going to mark that probably with this wash, or this half box. What planners does everybody use? So anybody that's watching this, I'm curious to know, are you all in an Erin Condren? Do you use a plum paper? Do you use a happy planner? Do you even use PlannerKate stickers? I'm curious to know. I just kind of want to get to know my viewers. So just let me know. All right, after laundry, I do want to get in a workout before I have to pick up my children from school. So let's do the rounded oval dash labels. I really like those. I'm going to go ahead and put, no, never mind. Okay. That will be more than likely it will be a Peloton workout. I'm trying to get on my bike more. I'm finding that when the weather's nicer outside, like in the summer, in spring, in early fall, or maybe just fall in general, I don't use my Peloton bike as much. I think it's because I'm wanting to actually like walk outside. Whereas in the winter, I hate winter and I hate cold weather. So you will never catch me being outside unless I absolutely have to. I don't even like to leave my house unless I absolutely have to. That's how much I despise cold weather. So wintertime is when I typically use my Peloton bike the most. And I guess that's okay, but I still want to get use out of it throughout the rest of the year. So I'm going to keep trying to do it at least once a week. I forgot to grab a Peloton stationary bike. So I will just be doing these pickup scripts. We can alternate colors, so let's do this. 2, 3. Actually, no, I just need 3 because my husband picks up Tuesday and Wednesday, so and pickup will be in the 3 o'clock hour. All right, moving on to Tuesday. Tuesday, I have a reading with a psychic medium that I have check-ins with like quarterly. So let's do, it's an hour long. Let's do one of these. I believe it's at 11 a.m. I'm going to double check the time, but I'm like 99.9% sure it is at 11 a.m. And it is via Zoom. All right, and as far as a workout goes, since my husband will probably doing school pickup, I'm going to move my workouts down to probably 3 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's do nope, not yellow. I already did yellow. And I'm just going to do workout scripts. And during that time, I am planning on doing a strength workout as well as my daily yoga. Yeah, I'm still trying to do yoga every day. I did miss 2 days, but that's okay. I was having a really, really off day on Tuesday. I don't know why. I got tons of sleep. I got 8 hours of sleep that night. So I don't know why I was so lethargic, and I even took a nap later that day. So something energetically must have been off, because I was just not having a great day on Tuesday. I was feeling much better by Wednesday, but it was just a really off day on Tuesday. So nothing got accomplished. Not even my yoga. Let's do the icons. Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on Tuesday, but I'm glad it was just a temporary feeling. I will be working as well. However, I think at the end of the week, when everything is all laid out, I'm going to put my work days in towards the end. It's kind of it's a blessing and a curse when you work for yourself, and even when business is slow, because I can be very flexible at home and with my kids. However, if I'm too flexible, certain things might not get done. So it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. So yeah. Moving on to Wednesday, it is a payday for my husband. So let's get that in. Oh, there's a lot of pink going on right there. We're going to put it up. We'll put it up top. Actually, I'm going to move this workout because I think I want my rest day to be on Wednesday and Saturday. Definitely Saturday. But I think I also want to make Wednesday a rest day. So I'm going to move this guy to Thursday. So let's do that now. that's a little bit better. I need a rest day sticker though. So Wednesday will be a rest day. I also need to put in Big Brother and my weekly photo clean out. All right, that is in. I'm just going to be putting, I think this week and maybe going forward, I'm not sure. I'm just going to put the little TV icons down. I don't need to write that it's Big Brother. All right, moving on to Thursday. Not much going on that day other than some work. But I am going to see the Fray in concert with one of my best friends. So I need to write that in. I could use a half box, but I actually think I'm going to use this guy. And that will be further on down the evening, but we're just going to put it right here. And then of course I'm going to use the little music note. Moving on to Friday. Like I said, my daughter has her dentist appointment to get the crown placed. I feel for that girl. Growing up, I had a lot of cavities, but however, they were all in my baby teeth, so I ended up losing them all. Outside of that, I've been really lucky in the dental department. She has not, and I feel so bad for her, because any kind of oral pain and just any work done in your mouth really freaking sucks, and it hurts. So I feel really bad for her. Okay, I'm going to write that in probably on this box right here, and that's at 9 a.m. And then, similar to last week, I think I'm going to use one of the Once More with Love munchkins. I think I'm going to use one of these guys again. All right, we are actually going to do, my mom and my sister and I, we are going to move our girls' walk to Friday, at least for this week. Both my sister and my mom have other things going on, so we are moving it to Friday. It'll probably be during 11 a.m. hour. And then I'll probably do a little bit of yoga right after on my own. I also have my weekly weigh-in, so I need to mark that. That yellow is definitely not the same yellow, but whatever. And then another thing I need to be doing on Friday is filming my plan with me. So let's use, ooh, that's a lot of yellow. Instead of using this like I typically would use, that's a lot of yellow, like yellow, yellow, yellow. So I'm going to actually use this guy and then mark it as like a time block situation. I will probably be filming until I have to pick up my kids from school. So let's write that in. Actually, no, I have a sticker. Of course I have a sticker. Ugh. These two colors clash, but that's okay. We're just gonna go with it. Oh, I don't like all that together. Hold on. All right, let's do some sticker surgery. So we are going to be starting filming. I'll probably start, honestly, around 1 p.m. Come on. A little bit better. All right, so I think that's it for Friday. It's going to be a busy day. I definitely do not think I will be getting any work done on Friday, so that will probably be a day off. Moving on to Saturday and Sunday. Let's get a little weekend banner in. All right, not a lot going on Saturday. Saturday will be, like I said, a rest day. So let's go ahead and mark that. Other than that, there's nothing really planned at the moment. I do know that one of my daughter's best friends, her mom reached out to me last night and asked if we could do like a play date because they are no longer in the same class at school anymore, which obviously, inevitably, that was going to happen at some point. So they do still talk on a regular basis. Like my daughter will FaceTime her on her iPad. So it's really cute actually. But so yeah, they do still talk regularly, and her mom reached out and asked to do a play date, and I was like, well, absolutely. However, this weekend we are busy, so it would have to be this weekend. And she said, okay, she'll reach out sometime this week. So it's very possible that we could be doing a play date with our daughters this weekend. Obviously, I'll put that in when I know more. If we don't end up doing it Saturday, I might take the kids to the library on Saturday because My daughter, so part of her homework every single night, she has to read for at least 15 minutes every single night. Well, this week has been a struggle because she said that she's bored with all of the books that she currently has. We have tons of books. However, she just recently cleaned out on her own all of the books out of her room to get rid of the ones that she's no longer interested in, which was actually very overdue. I'm actually really proud of her for that because A, she took initiative and did it herself. And B, she got rid of the books that either she was too old for, like the more like babyish board book type things, that we still had in her room because there's no other place to put them. So she got rid of those and she kept only the books that she was genuinely interested in. And that's great. However, she's already read through the majority of them this week, or the last 2 weeks, actually, this week and last week during homework. So she's already saying that she wants new books, and I'm like, okay, let's go to the library then. Let's make it. We have a library membership, or at least she does. So we need to be making a weekly habit of going to the library. So I think that's what we're going to start doing probably on Saturdays. So let's mark that. All that to say, let's put in library on Saturday. It may or may not happen on Saturday, but we're going to try. All right, let's do that probably in the afternoon. My kids, as well as myself, we like to get slow starts on the weekend. So sleeping in if it happens, and also just kind of like having slow mornings. I love a good slow morning. I hate waking up and rushing out the door. That stresses me out. And I can feel that my kids are the same way. So anything that we do anything that we absolutely have to. In the fall and winter, my daughter will have basketball on Saturdays, and for those days, we will absolutely be rushing out the door in the morning. However, if we don't have to rush out the door in the mornings, we're going to have our slow mornings on the weekends. Okay, quit rambling and start writing. And I actually do have some book icons. All right, moving on to Sunday. I will try to do some editing in the mornings. So I'm going to use this sticker. Let's do blue. My husband is off work on Sundays, so I'm able to do certain things with my kids being home, thanks to him. We will also try to do some grocery shopping on Sunday as a family. And then I need to work on our weekly budget. It's not really a time-sensitive thing, so it kind of just happens during the day whenever I can get to it. Sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's in the evenings. But as long as it gets done, that's the important part. And then the last thing for Sunday is my yoga. aside from my daily yoga, before I started doing daily yoga or attempting to do it, Sundays was always my yoga day. So I'm going to put that down. Usually that gets done in the evenings. At least on Sunday. Okay, that is what next week is currently looking like. As usual, things will probably be changed. That's the beauty of PlannerKate stickers, is how removable they are. And then anything that needs to get added in I'm going to actually hold off on putting my work scripts in. I'm just going to play it by ear this week. Oh, I do need more little TV icons for Big Brother. Let's look for those. I know I don't have any more of the like black and white icon ones. I think all I have left are the doodle TVs. So yeah, these are all I have left. That's okay. We will use them. Let's do the yellow and this like coral color. All right, that would be Thursday, which obviously I will be at the concert when that comes on. I usually watch it the following day anyway, so yeah, I think that is it. Yeah, thank you for joining me for another Plan With Me. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a like. If you want to see more videos like this and other sticker hauls, please subscribe. If there are other videos that anybody would like to see me do, I'm interested in hearing that. I am trying to keep my mind open to different types of content. It might take me a little bit of time to work up to anything forward facing, like showing my face. It's so weird and awkward being on camera. I'm not quite used to that. It took me a little bit of time to get used to this. So, but with that being said, I am interested in learning about what other types of videos any of my viewers like watching. So please leave that down in the comments. I would appreciate that. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.